We are live with the Slice and Dice Dreadcast. How's everybody doing tonight? Joey coming here from Brooklyn with my co-host Jim.
What's up?
And JJ Mack.
What is good, fellas?
What's going on, people of the internet? AKA our 0 viewers. But hopefully some folks will chime in now that we've just gone live.
You know, but I've been sharing it all day long. They've been waiting for 11 o'clock, not 12.
They were there at 11.
They were there
not
at 11.
so much.
They were there at 10. And they were there at 11.
Yeah.
Now it's a quarter after 12 because of my procrastination and necessary need of a nap.
Oh, man.
I delayed the
just
process.
so you know, buddy, you want me to I can play the intro live right now, so we don't got to edit it in. You want me to do that or no? No?
Yeah, let's do some commentary over it.
Oh, man. Here's where we get shut down now by every fucking movie company that those sound bites are from. Because they're playing.
I just figure it saves it through the editing process. I can just fucking put it in a live feed and just let it go.
For our fans of the Harphilia Network and Death by Podcast that listen to all of what's going on there, you'd probably heard we dropped a new episode that I was extremely saucy on from drinking Lagunitis Little Something. So tonight, I decided to pop a bottle of champagne. So, mazel tov, folks.
We're celebrating what? This is episode 11.
Episode 11. Mazel.
Since our Friday 13th episode was a 2-parter, but it technically is one episode
Champagne
per
out
10.
of a clear plastic cup, folks.
It's like Kill Bill, Volume 1 and 2 of the Friday 13th episode.
Our first commentary episode was our Friday the 13th extravaganza. And, it was a bumpy road, some technical difficulties.
Yeah, big shout out to Jim for getting us all our shit.
Yes, Paramount Pictures.
They can't hold me down, baby.
F Paramount in the effing face.
Good.
I bet.
Daniel Pardiak, sparkling wine. Oh, this is not good. It's not real champagne. I can't drink it.
It's close enough. There's still bubbles in it.
So
Joey loves his bubbles.
He does love his bubbles.
And I love my bath.
Dude, I ain't mad at bubble baths. I'll be honest. Getting old and shit.
I do love a nice bubble bath, man.
I'll light a candle. Listen to some Kenny G.
You light a candle? I light a joint. Whatever.
Same thing. Tomato.
Whatever works.
I like the grill.
You like the grill. This kid's cooking steaks while he's fucking in the
I'm
bathtub.
flipping fucking steaks and burgers while I'm laying in a bucket.
I got, bro, 100% honest with you. Like having a giant bathroom now because I live in Florida. I don't have to live in like a little Brooklyn apartment no more. Like after a long day of having to do like landscaping at the house, setting the tub up, my bathroom's big enough I can put my projector in it and watch movies from the tub.
Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah, it's the greatest feeling in the world when you're sweaty as hell. You dive into the tub and just watch. The last one I watched True.
Dive in the tub.
Yeah, I watched True Romance.
I gotta get out of Brooklyn,
dude. My fucking me and Therese, like our bathroom got like his and her closets, right? My closet here is bigger than my kitchen was in Brooklyn.
Yo, my bathroom's so small that morning when I woke up after Death by Podcast, I just sat there on the toilet and had my head on the sink because it's right in front of me.
Man, I'm telling you, dude.
You know, like you're sitting in the bathtub and you like use the toilet as an armrest. You know,
I've had apartments like that before. It ain't just New York.
Porcelain on top of porcelain on top of porcelain.
The struggle is real.
Yeah, I tell you, man. And it's crazy because down here people look at my house like it's small, and I'm like, "What? You people are fucking nuts. You don't know what small is, bro." Like this.
This is a luxury, baby.
Yeah.
So,
but I can't get a beef patty at fucking 12:16 in the morning.
No.
In Florida.
All I got to do is make one call.
Yeah.
One quick call. Boom. No beef patties tonight, guys. Sorry.
Ah, boo.
Boo.
Sorry. So,
Hey, at least the
all right,
YouTube
guys,
link says
well-
Dreadcast, not Dreamcast.
Yeah, moving on up.
yes, I made sure because it corrected it to Dreamcast, and I almost put my fist through the screen. So
Did you guys ever have a Dreamcast when you were kids?
I didn't, but my boy did, and I'd play his a lot.
same here.
But Ryan had
Um,
Dreamcast. I think Mark actually bought it, but yeah.
All right, anyway.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mark.
Shout out to Mark and Ryan for having
Shout out to Mark and Ryan.
the dude.
RIP ODB.
RIP ODB, Fife Dog, and Jimmy Snooker.
Guys, dog.
Jimmy Snuka, baby.
Jimmy Snooker.
Speaking of Jimmy Snooker, remember one of our movies tonight? Remember when fucking Piper busted the coconut over his head on Piper's
Oh,
Pit?
absolutely. Piper's Pit.
Oh man, there was some wrestling moves.
Yeah, we'll get into it, man.
Oh, yeah, the iconic fight.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Recreated by South Park. If you ever watched the Timmy and Jimmy fight, that was
Yeah.
a pretty good episode.
No, never. Can you pop that like on the screen so we could watch that? By any chance, Jimmy?
Yeah,
I
like,
could if you
get-
fucking download the programs I tell you to download, yeah.
We got to step our game up here.
Give me one afternoon with you two or one evening and we'll have everything situated. Believe me.
We will have everything in order. Everything. Body cavities.
I can just start clicking right here, play sounds, I can play video, I
Orifices.
can play everything, and you guys will be able to see it.
work it out. Just give me a heads up. I'm down for whatever. I'm here strictly for the aesthetic value.
He's DTF. He's
Yeah.
He's DTF. He's always DTF. I'm DTA.
Oh,
I'm GTA.
Lord.
5,
Yeah, five. Yes.
Liberty City.
All right, enough of the shit. What are we talking about tonight? They Live and the Robert Englund directed cult classic. Maybe
The first
I
part,
don't think so.
976 Evil.
976 Evil, both 1988 films. So another step down another trip down memory lane with two of these classics that I believe we've all seen these films already.
Yeah, I've only seen 976. I honestly watching, I didn't remember all that much about it except for one particular part. But yeah, They Live is like, oh god, I love that fucking movie.
They Live, I remember watching on TV maybe 4 years ago, maybe. 976 Evil, I have not seen since probably like 95.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm like, I had to be like, I don't even know if I was like 10 yet when I seen that friggin' movie.
Yeah. Like I used to watch because, we had our video rental place down here where I live in Monaca or I grew up in Monaca outside of Pittsburgh, and all the new horror movies and stuff. That's all we do is go in there and rent the VHS tapes and take them home and watch them for a couple of hours, take them back, get the new one and shit. But yeah, that was one of the ones that I remember watching. And what's funny is this one and like Fright Night, which featured the same person. The original Fright Night.
Steven.
Those two of my ones that
Man.
Yeah. But these. Like I said, it's probably 20. It's over 20 years since I've seen this movie.
I'm in like some groups on Facebook where they like post DVDs,
Of course you are.
Of course I am. So somebody posted this in their bunch. I ordered a DVD, and I didn't get a chance to watch it. So I put it on that list for the poll and made it up there. So I guess let's get into this one. 966. What'd you say? Huh?
Working the pole.
Working the polls, huh? I work the poll, all right. You better watch it. I'm a lobbyist.
I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that.
That's how I broke my shoulder. But we'll save that story for another time.
Don't that spin move up and down, upside down spin move?
We'll save that story for another night. So we have 1988's 976 Evil. Do you have the synopsis for us tonight, Jim?
If you want me to have it.
Yeah, you're a synopsis guy. Our resident synopsis guy. Plot keywords: pun, gore, religious parents, mother-son relationship, telephone number.
Basically, the tagline for this movie is people who dial 976 evil receive supernatural powers and turn into satanic killers, which is
Interesting,
but really only happens to one person, I believe, in this movie that actually does it. That we get to see.
Yeah.
Become the killer, yeah.
Why is it pluralized?
Yeah, they made it seem like
everybody's gonna start killing people.
There are gonna be a bunch of satanic killers in this movie, and there's just one Stephen Jeffries basically who plays Hoax, but still.
Did he grow up to become like a friggin' gay porn star?
I don't believe. I have no idea.
I'm almost 100% positive I saw that somewhere. Maybe it was just like one of those internet things. Because he was also in Heaven Help Us. You ever see that movie?
No.
It's about like an all-boy Catholic school in Brooklyn. It's not like, they're not banging or nothing. It's just dealing with like crazy old.
They're not banging or nothing.
No, well, I just said the dude was a gay porn star. Now I'm talking about like all-boy Catholic schools in Brooklyn. So, but it's actually a pretty good movie. Like Andrew McCarthy's in it, and fucking Johnny Drama, whose name is escaping me at the moment.
Quick little update on him. Basically, through IMDb, it says he writes short stories and he is an avid bodybuilder. Can you believe that?
Really?
So that's close enough to a gay porn star, I guess.
After a regrettably lengthy absence from the big screen, Stephen Jeffries made a welcome comeback with a co-starring role in the indie fright feature Sick Girl in 2007. So it has nothing after 2007.
Then on the right-hand side of IMDb, it says related lists from IMDb users. Coolest actors of all time. Gay actors. People who have played or voiced were creatures. Favorite actors? Porn. Let's see.
So maybe there is some kind of rumor that happened if all that excess shit is on the side there. All right. I'm not completely out of my mind.
Oh, Jackie Chan has done porn, huh? Interesting.
Hey, man. They're wild over there. Octopuses and stuff.
He's only 5'5", that little motherfucker.
Oh, look. You're right. Stephen Jeffries. Here we go. He's on the list.
On the list.
Oh, he made the list.
He made the list.
You just made the list. Yes. Oh, I said it in class the other day. Nobody knew what I was talking about.
You know what happened? You don't raise your hand?
Go on the list.
You made the list.
You got to walk around the classroom with like a clipboard, like just standing over people and checking shit off just to fuck with them. That'd be awesome, bro.
That would be great.
You just made the list.
Bro, if the next time I come up to visit New York, you have to let me come in and teach something in your class, like as a special guest, and I'll just bullshit my way through the whole thing. That would be awesome.
Oh, man, that would be awesome. I would love that. We could have a special class. You could do Hip Hop 101. My religious students will be looking at you like, what the fuck is this guy talking? Another language?
Explain to them why Old Dirty Bastard was Big Baby Jesus. They don't know what the hell's going on.
What's a Big Baby Jesus? Who's Jesus?
Oh, man.
Let's get up into this film, guys.
Let's get up in that bitch, Jim.
All right, so directed by Robert Englund, huh?
Fuck yeah, baby.
Himself.
That man right there.
Kane Hodder?
Is he on the screen?
No, peace out. Finally, an episode that would feature Kane Hodder.
I know, man. We got to get him in there somewhere. That's really just want to bring our attention to the Kane Hodder picture.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, man.
His camera.
All right, so begin with this movie. Let's get some baseline thoughts. James, what did you think of 976 Evil?
I think that if I watched it more as a kid, like watching it now, I probably would have enjoyed it more. You know what I mean? Because I've been thinking lately, like I love the Lost Boys, but I've been watching the Lost Boys regularly since I was, as long as I can remember. So like, if I'd never seen the Lost Boys and went back and watched it now, would I still like it as much? But it just, to me, it started off just extremely slow, and it took forever for me to actually like care about it. But there was some cool shit in there. Like I said, I'd seen it before, but I really only remembered the spider scene. That was like the only thing that came to my mind. So I mean, I watched it for this. I enjoyed it. It was cool enough.
I know you're a snake guy. Are you a spider guy also?
I ain't mad at spiders. The only animal I ain't fucking with is like house cats. It sounds weird, but like, because I love reptiles and shit. But I am like scared shit of cats, and not for no reason. Like I've been attacked by cats on multiple occasions. So one time the cat in the Hallmark on 9th Avenue scratched the shit out of me when I was like 7. I just went to go pet it and it fucked me up. And then one time I was walking with, I think probably Nicole, a couple of people. We were walking across 11th Avenue and a cat fell out of a tree and landed on my head. But like perfectly. Like, dude, when I tell you this fucking cat couldn't have landed any better on top of my head to like a perfect friggin', it's fucking front legs were in front of my face and its back legs were behind my head. I was wearing it like a hat for like 7 seconds. And it was just kicking the shit, like trying to get off me and stuck there. So it scratched up the whole back of my neck and my face, man. It was a mess. And I just don't want, I'd rather a tiger walk in my house right now than a fucking like little ass cat. I feel like I could fight a tiger if I had to. Like one of them little cats, they're fast, man, end up biting me on the thigh or something. It's not good.
There's usually a pickup line of mine. I don't want to wear you like a hat. Doesn't work for cats though, huh?
Holy shit, that's hysterical. I'm just walking on a block.
I fell out of the tree
on my head.
I was some bullshit. I was mad as hell.
I mean, I had a caterpillar fall out of a tree on me once.
Nah, man. I had like a white and fucking orange fucking cat fall out of a tree and land perfectly on my head. And it was stuck there scratching the shit out of me. I was a victim. And I still feel bad about it. I'm going to be honest.
Just another victim. Yep. Yeah. Well, we have spiders in this movie, so you're all good.
Yeah, I was good. I actually tried to talk the wife into letting me get a tarantula, but she wasn't having
it. So this dude, he plays the friend from Fright Night.
Evil Ed.
Right? Evil Ed.
You notice there's a Fright Night poster in his room. Well, there's a scene where he is standing in front of a Fright Night poster.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little things, like trivia things you can learn from this movie. The Susie, we'll get into it. The characters more, but Spike's girlfriend Susie, the blonde one, she was actually in Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Dead. Who with Robert Englund, she played Tracy in that movie. So there's a lot of like. Back then, a lot of horror people were playing in their movies and stuff, but there's a lot of little callbacks to other horror movies through this film, just like others. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, my baseline thoughts on this movie were, I saw this movie when I was a kid, and I used to rent it from the video store, and I loved it. I loved this movie as a kid. I loved the sequel. But, when I saw the guy post this DVD, I said, oh, shit, nice. I totally forgot it. Like, this movie was off my radar since I was fucking probably 15 or something. So I said, you know what? I ordered DVD. Now it's here, and I'm watching it, fucking 17 years later?
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it does not hold up to what I was expecting. I was not expecting a phenomenal film because of the, it's known for being a shitty movie because Robert Englund directed it, so it wasn't supposed to be a shitty movie. But in my honest opinion, it is.
Did you notice, like, the the town and everything, the way the way it's shot, like the cinematography and everything, it kind of looks like a dream sequence in a Friday or in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
It does. That's a great observation. It really does. Everything is colorful, it pops, and smoky. There's always fucking fog.
Yeah, it's dark. You know, there's a lot of like underlighting, backlighting. It looks like it could be like fog. Like it could be a dream. The whole damn town. Like it's just a dirty ass, nightmarish town. You know. So
Wow.
obviously that's what he liked and that's what he wanted to do with it. But there's definitely a comparison between this and his Nightmare on Elm Street films.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. This should we take it from the top? Should we
Go
take it
ahead.
from the top? All right. So the movie opens up. We get Hoax and we get Spike. They're cousins, I believe, and
Yes.
they live with Hoax's mother.
Yeah.
Spike lives with them. So she is this over religious, super religious mother, and basically, Hoax is like the nerd, and Spike gets the girl that Hoax wants. So there's this envious relationship between the two. Now, basically, the movie is about him tapping into the 976 number and by Satan and wiping out all the people who've done him wrong. So a question to be posed is, would this movie, where would this movie fall under the subgenre? Is this a slasher? I don't know. Satanic film, definitely. But, it holds this weird place in my heart where I really wanted to love this movie when I watched it, because I just remember this feeling of love for it when I was so young. And what's it called? Blah, blah, blah. I just had a brain fart. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry. Jim, say something.
No, you see, and that's the thing is like we'll kind of put it this way, Hoax is the nerdy, little character who we were talking about previously, and then his cousin Spike is the Harley riding, cool guy. He plays poker. He has the biker chick girlfriend, and he can beat people up, and that's who the nerd looks up to, his cousin. And Spike actually makes contact with 976 number 976 evil, but it doesn't take control of him. And then throughout the film, we see that the nerd finds the flyer and he calls, and he is susceptible to everything that this person on the other line is telling him. You can have this, you can have that. It's kind of like, you sell your soul to the devil if you won $1 million type thing. And basically he can have the girl, he can have this, he can have that. You won't be bullied anymore if you do this. So that's basically what the film turns into be.
Right. Man, I can't grasp my hand around what I was trying to say before. I can't.
Was it what, like, do you think you were going to tell us what Socrates would think of this movie?
I think Plato, not
Plato.
Plato on it?
No, I don't know. It's just like, I know. So going into, I remember. So going into the movie, I didn't remember anything about this movie except the image of the guy, right? His makeup, which is phenomenal. But as soon as the movie started, it all hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh, watching it, knew it was coming. Spider scene. I was like, holy shit, yeah. So there was some good aspects of this movie that I like, specific spots, but ultimately I wanted this to be one of those films that I guess you look back in retrospect and it always gets panned by critics, and when you watch it, you just love it, but it didn't work out that way.
I think for me, if they could have took the first 40 minutes of this movie and somehow brought that down to fucking even 20 minutes, I would have enjoyed the entire movie as a whole better.
By the time he's in that satanic circle, it's like 40 minutes into the movie. So it doesn't, you don't need, this isn't a fucking character piece. You don't need to build these people up, You just need to show who they are, what they're about, get into it,
I definitely believe that the private investigator role, Marty, the Miss Martinez character, they definitely were fillers because he didn't even like the private detective didn't do really anything. Like he showed up here and there, but he didn't solve any problem. He didn't do shit, And then the guidance counselor, whoever, she was just eye candy for the film. But
right.
A lot of things that didn't need to happen happened, but I don't believe at all. It had its
classic horror tropes and cliches, but the execution of the film, I don't know. I don't know if it was the story, because all right, let's look at the direction, right? Like how he sequences out the story. You're the director. It takes 40 minutes for you to get into the thick of things. Why? Right? Why are you choosing to wait 40 minutes to get into, it's not like this movie was a serious film. Look at the mother character. She was something out of a John Waters film,
She was actually an established actress. Like she had a lot of roles in like the 60s and 70s with like Warren Beatty and shit. Like she was a big name actress in the time, but like her character, the wig and the glasses and the overacting, it came across like a Motel Hell type horror film. Like, and I thought it could have been a lot better.
Where Motel Hell, I enjoyed a lot more.
I did love Motel Hell.
Motel Hell's good.
Why was that that was the first one that just popped in? I'm talking like just randomly, and that's the first one that popped into my head, and I don't know why.
It's the mid 80s, you know what I mean?
But I love Motel Hell.
See, but like that's the tone of Motel Hell. This film didn't know if it wanted to be a serious film with fucking gothic influence or fucking a black comedy. It didn't know where it wanted to go, And I think England was trying to do too much at one time.
Yeah. James is kind of quiet here. What do you got, James?
Nah, I basically, you got friggin' fish, raining fish. You got swirlies happening. And I'm thinking, like, when's the last time somebody actually got like a swirl? Like, does that shit really happen? Or like, I don't know. But anyway,
I gave him.
Oh, all right. Well, you're a nice guy, Jim.
Our resident
I was a dick.
Swirly whirly and everyone.
I tell you, one of the things that as slow as it was moving in the beginning for me, I was noticing like dumb shit. Like there's a part where Spike makes a call. I think he tries to call the number on a payphone, and he's standing there and rubbing the receiver of the phone on his face. And I was like, that's just like the most disgusting thing I could think of. Like a public phone, like, I don't know. That was like just like the germaphobe in me, I guess.
A 1980s public payphone.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
I used to live on those, dude. I used to go down to the corner. We had a Quickies convenience store. I used to go down there and dial like sex numbers just to hear like the intro. I would never pay money, but I would just hear the intro because it was sexy.
For our younger listeners who
don't know what a payphone is.
Don't know what a payphone is. Don't know what a 976 number is either. Or an 800 number.
Or an 800 number, yeah. They were sex lines that you could call to talk to most likely overweight women who didn't look that good, but could talk very sexual.
And also they had that Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger hotline. You'd call up and he'd like tell you something.
Yep. Yes, they did.
They had hotlines for everything.
Remember the Mean Gene hotline?
Attention hotline fans.
I remember I'd like call the numbers that were on like the home videos, It's like, that was from like 7 years ago, dude.
That's funny.
Yeah. Like I said, this movie had some nice spots, nice spots. But
I thought it was entertaining. I mean, I remembered it vaguely, but I definitely would. I would much rather watch this film than a lot of the other ones we watched. I mean, it was dark. It was. It wasn't as boring. It wasn't. And you guys were talking about how it was kind of like a slow build, but because I've watched it before, I wasn't as bored because I knew something more was coming. You know, so. But when I look back at the other shit that we watched, I'm like, you know what? This was a nice late '80s horror satanic film. You know, it wasn't a crazy amount of killing up until the end, and definitely isn't a slasher film, but there were sequels,
it's
and
definitely not a slasher.
I don't know. It didn't disappoint what I remembered about it. It was a movie that I remembered. It was an '80s horror movie that I grew up on, and I was happy with it.
That's the thing. Like, if you're into '80s horror, like I just watched Chopping Mall today.
Chopping.
I saw that you posted that. I've never seen that.
Oh man, the best head explosion ever.
Not better than Scanners.
Yeah, phenomenal. It's up there with Scanners, dude. Up there with Scanners. No joke. If it's not, it's right under Scanners. But I don't know. This film, you got to think about it, right? This is Robert Englund's already, on Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, if not 5 already. So he's already a household name. Now he's stepping behind the camera. So I think this movie had great expectations. But
Friday 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street 5 came out the same year, '88.
Right. So I mean, now he has the power to step behind the camera. He holds some weight in Hollywood, but not an original film by any means. I mean, it's your classic kid getting possessed and seeking revenge. It's nothing new there, I mean, look at Carrie, right?
What are your views on his acting? Hoax's acting.
Robert Englund's acting?
No, Hoax's acting.
Oh, Hoax's acting. Actually, his acting didn't bother me.
No, I mean,
it doesn't annoy you at all?
At all. No, I think actually he played his role really well. The nerdy, like.
But it's the same role he plays every movie he's ever been in.
Well, in Heaven Help Us, he's like a little pervert that's always like trying to jerk off and stuff.
Well, look what he did in this movie. He went into his room and fucking like took the panties and shit. Like, he's a creepy little fuck, dude.
There's a scene in Heaven Help Us where he's an altar boy, and it's like old school. Like the chick's got to like the old girl school comes to church, and he's serving the mass, and all the girls are coming up and kneeling and opening their mouths, and the priest is dropping the communion in their mouths, and he's like starting to sweat and shit because all these girls are getting on their knees and opening their mouths and looking up at him, and he ends up passing out. It's funny shit. But
I'd probably do the same thing, so I can't.
That's it. We're covering this movie on our next episode.
Not a horror movie, but we'll watch it.
I will say we did have some titties in this movie, so that was good from Susie.
Thanks for the handout, Susie.
Thank you, Susie.
So, I don't know. I mean, like, I didn't hate this movie. I
knew you weren't gonna love it, Dave. Believe me, but it wasn't the worst that we've watched for this.
No, it was not the worst. It was not the worst by any means. But it's I don't know. It's one of those films that it's real easy to be fucking around on your phone. Well, like honestly, if I ever watch this again, I probably would just fast forward through the first fucking 40 minutes of it. Like once it got started, it was cool, but by the time it got started, like I almost didn't give a shit anymore. I was like, all right, when the fuck is something gonna happen in this movie? Right,
I mean, the fight scene, the kid drops a butterfly knife, and I just had like that flashback of being a little kid and thinking butterfly knives are like the coolest fucking thing in the world. Yeah. Like going into like Tip Top Gift and fucking staring at all the butterfly knives,
I don't know. I mean, it didn't satisfy my palate. It was, like I said, I came in here. I wasn't coming in with great expectations, but I definitely wanted a little, expecting it to be a little more, I guess, in serious nature, where at some points it was, but then in the next scene it wasn't. So it kind of took the tone, took me out of it. Like I didn't have a problem with any of the acting. The mother, obviously, I did because she was over the top, but no other characters were over the top. So it's like, all right, you're obviously trying to take a jab at religion with this quick character, right? So that one character is symbolic for that. And I'm not trying to Joey shit, but think about it. Why is this character in this movie the way she is, right?
Anything that has to do with religion or anything with movies, you have to have the good and evil. And she was the good, but the whole movie revolved around the evil. You have to have that heaven and hell. You have to have that devil and God aspect. They had to, and that's what she was, even though she came across as a fucking bitch.
Well, I was going to say, some might consider her the devil.
That's what I'm saying. Like even like Carrie, like in Carrie, her mom it was like the Jesus freak, and you end up like disliking the heavily religious person in the fucking movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. Well, that's what usually happens in the real world too. Is the overly religious people who think they're all good and high and mighty are the ones that are way more disruptive and more, they turn out to be more bad than the satanic people are because they're just
Bible thumping son of a guns
shove it down your fucking throat and try to make you what they want to believe. Like, look at what she was doing. She was smacking him in the head all the time. She was yelling at him.
It was always like, "Get this! I'll go get the strap, or I'll go get the strap."
I'll get the strap. Like, I'm gonna go strap on. What are you trying to fucking do, bitch?
I was like, are they trying to be Carrie here? Like, put him in the closet.
Yeah. But that's usually what happens. But I definitely got that kind of symbolism that they were going for. You have to have that good versus evil type thing. But I mean, there's definitely a lot of holes in this film. But I don't know.
Well, I think there was
a lot of holes in the '80s.
There were.
Well, I mean,
a lot of glory holes.
In the
80s, yes.
Yeah. Wow.
There are now if you know where to look. No, I'm just
if you go to the right rest stop. Sorry,
James.
You
know where to go. That was all over the place. Jesus. Go ahead, James.
James, say what you were going to say.
Hold on. I already fucking forgot.
He's thinking of the nearest glory.
Yeah, that's the problem now.
That's what he's looking up on his phone.
I wrote a poem with. I wrote a poem with.
Got a Google
glory holes near me on Google.
Glory holes.
Shout out to my buddy John Cascarelli, one of my poet buddies.
I thought you were gonna be like my favorite glory hole fucking occupant or some shit.
No, we wrote a poem. We wrote a poem.
My favorite partner. We used to meet up and carpool to the glory hole.
Yeah, carpool to the glory hole.
We used to get our beef patties on and go down to the glory hole.
Oh my god.
Holy shit. No, man. We wrote a poem called Glory Hole.
You wrote a poem called Glory Hole?
Yeah, we wrote a poem called Glory Hole.
If you like rock music, look up Steel Panther, Glory Hole. Great song. Yeah. And video.
There's a line in the poem here. I just pulled it up.
Pulled it out.
Pulled it out. Here, this is one little section. Cultural deprivation is an upper middle class white kid, a real prick, they said of Reagan. A Simpsons episode called How I Wet Your Mother. Kim Kardashian has had more saucers in a prison frying pan. Sperm bags, word banks, fear radio through closed curtains. And it goes on for 3 pages.
Nice.
What the fuck?
That's what happens when you partake in the plant.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm not going to read any more of that poem.
Oh, no, I'm still thinking of the fucking eating beef patties and then carpool to the glory.
That sounds like a great Thursday night. Just more tonight. Let's go heat up the beef patties. Pick me up down the block. We'll go down the glory hole.
Oh my god.
Oh, God. gosh.
That's
All right, let's
tremendous.
finish up this movie right now. Okay, what do you got?
Let's wrap this shit up. Oh, as Mike says, I think it's time to rate this. Shut up.
So this
Joey.
is the part when Joey says, "I gotta look at my notes."
Hang on, I gotta look at my notes. No, next movie I'll probably be saying that. This movie I didn't write a single thing.
I mean, like I said, man, it started off so slow. I didn't recall much about it. I know I seen it. Like I said, the only thing I really remember was the spider kill scene, all that stuff. There was a couple things I noticed, like when he finally does change over to the demon or whatever the fuck he's supposed to be, and he shows up at the poker game and he fucking cuts that kid's hand off. The kid has like absolutely no reaction to the fact that his hand's gone.
Yeah.
You know, like he's not like even yelling, crying, nothing. Just like, oh shit, my hand's not there no more. But I mean, it looked cool. His makeup looked cool. And like I said, like if you want to watch this, I would suggest just blowing through the first like 40 minutes of it and getting to the part where he actually finally makes the fucking phone call and does a little seance and all the shit starts happening.
And to bring up Chopping Mall again, Chopping Mall was an hour and 15 minutes. If that movie was any longer, I'd step on it. So why can't you shave off 10 minutes, Robert Englund? You're an hour and 35. There's a fucking cut of this that's 105 minutes, I think. So that's what? An hour and 45 minutes. So there's a
I saw one that was an hour and 45. I think I watched the one that was an hour and 32.
Yeah, I watched the hour and 32. I have the DVD. There was no extras on it at all. I was a little let down. I was hoping to get a little something out of it so I could bring it to the table here, but there was nothing. So anyway, let's rate this bitch. James, let's get your rating on this one.
I'll give it a 2. Like I said, it was just so goddamn slow in the beginning for me. It really kind of made me not. Even when it finally got more interesting, I still wasn't like invested in it at that point because the beginning just threw me so far off, you know. But you know, it looked cool. I mean, as a kid, I'm sure I fucking thought it was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. You know, which leads back to that whole fucking conversation of if I had constantly watched this from childhood, if I'd care about it more. But yeah, I give it a 2.
All right. And Jim, what do you got?
5 out of 5. No, honestly, it didn't disappoint me. I remembered what it was going to be. I knew what to expect. I love that look of the film. I mean, it's very gritty and dark and you know, dreamish. I knew what he was going for when he made it, and I could appreciate it. I mean, there was a lot of little things that I could pick apart, obviously, but it was 1988 horror film, and that's pretty much where my mind lives till today. So I'm actually going to go 3 out of 5 zombie heads on this one, just because for myself, it didn't disappoint, and yeah, I'm good. I can watch it again, and I'm probably going to go and watch the sequels maybe tonight. So I just enjoy them. They're good movies. They're fun movies, and not overthinking them.
All right. I, on the other hand, I wasn't let down to the point where I disliked this movie, because I didn't dislike this movie. I didn't love this movie. I didn't like it either. It was this weird experience where it was almost dreamlike for me, which is funny because that's the way you talked about the movie. But it was dreamlike for me because I wanted it to be something it's not. I wanted it to do something to me personally, which it didn't. Although watching it, and like I said,
is there a bomb about to go off?
Pick up your phone. It's vibrating all over the computer screen.
What?
Is your phone vibrating?
Oh, you know what? My computer's making noise. Like, you know, the laptop sometimes also.
Oh, like when the jammy starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I play.
Your microphone's going to pick that up.
I thought
fucking now?
Friggin' house was about to explode. I was like, Joey's no selling the explosion in his house.
He is just completely let it go.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you froze or
There you
something.
I thought you froze. You fucking
Ringing
Where'd
like
you go?
16 text messages. Jesus Christ. Hello.
You got an impromptu phone call in the middle of.
Yeah, put them on speakerphone.
We rated this. We're taking a break. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna go take a piss if we're taking a break.
All right. We're still on YouTube, so we can't do anything crazy. What the fuck?
Good thing I put my pants back on when I came in.
I let the audio keep going too. I ain't stopping shit. I'll edit it down. But what the fuck happened, dude?
I don't know. Maybe his wife texted him or called him, so you gotta go check on something.
Yeah, I'm gonna start playing sound bites and shit. Because it'll record on mine, and you just won't hear it. Oh shit. If it was his wife, I'm gonna play the dramatic dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
I just played it. Oh man. Yeah, see, I'm watching the YouTube video, not the call. So I'm on a delay.
I was gonna say, it's a delay, right?
I love my eyes. They look so cool.
Dude, especially when you sit further back, it just looks like you have pure white eyes. Like when we were doing it before. To myself, I'm like, Jim looks fucking spooky right now. I was sitting here doing this shit.
I do. Like when I go to concerts and stuff like that, like I always wear them and shit. Everybody just stares at me. They're like, "Holy fuck, dude!"
Yeah,
it's one of them things. Like the stuff people say they want to do, I do. So they're like, "Oh, I always wanted contacts like that." I'm like, "Well, I did too, and I got them."
I just went and got them. I went to high school. There was this kid CJ I went to high school with, and he had like the cat eyes, he had flames, he had like all this shit, and I always was like, dude, I want to do that, but I'm so afraid of putting shit in my eye. Like,
yeah,
that. I don't know. You ever see the movie Belly? I know you're not like a hip hop guy.
What was that with DMX?
DMX and Nas, and yeah, in the beginning, Nas has the fucking glow in the dark ones at the club. He comes in, his fucking eyes are glowing as he's walking through the club. I always thought that was like the coolest shit I ever seen in my life. I was like, ah.
Well, that's what mine look like. Because like if I get, like I said, if I go to a concert or you know, if I go and sing on stage or something like that, I'll go to, you know, it's a dark bar or something, all you can see is just my eyes are just fucking white as shit. And everybody's like, "Oh shit, that's cool as hell, man." Let me get a picture. So I'll fucking go and I'll just like find myself on people. Like I was at a concert one night. Oh, and see fuck. I don't know if you like the fuck, dude. What's her name now? I can't remember, but they were up in Pittsburgh, and I'm sitting in the crowd, and a couple girls walked up to me, and they said, "Oh, your eyes are cool. Let me get pictures with you." Blah blah blah. And the next morning, I woke up to my boss, my old boss, like text messaging me, like, "Is this you?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, dude, this girl on my Facebook, like put a picture of her, of you and her on Facebook together. And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck she is. She's like, "Yeah, she's on my page."
Yeah,
sometimes I just want to put my head through a wall.
Yeah, I can imagine. Everything all right? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Did you give your actual like number rating on the movie, or you were just?
I don't even think I did yet.
I think you were
No.
giving your thoughts, but I don't think you dropped the actual number.
I don't know. I can't think straight. I need a minute.
Well,
Get that.
I was talking about it with Jim a little bit before, but I woke up, and when I woke up that morning after the fucking Moonsault episode you guys did, I listened to it while I was getting the kid ready for school. Bro, that shit was hysterical. I'm like,
I can only imagine.
First I wake up and see all the text and the missed calls and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck went on? And then I go on Facebook and I see the fucking video there, and it's just like there's so many great parts of it. Like at one point, Jim shouting out like some like fucking adult detainer or something that's coming to Pittsburgh to like a club or some shit. And he's like, and fucking, and he gets quiet, and Joey goes, penetration. He just goes, penetration. That's all you fucking hear out of nowhere. What? It's ridiculous.
I'm scared to that.
And then like I saw you guys watch like highlights of the fucking Omega Okada match. Like just like
no, it wasn't even that. It was a fucking 5-minute long just Kenny Omega highlight thing.
It wasn't even the actual match. You guys, neither one of you said that on the entire fucking thing, man. And so I'm sitting here thinking you're watching highlights of the match and shit, and fuck, it was hysterical.
That's what I thought it was gonna be, but it turned out to just be like a highlight reel of him. I think.
Yeah.
We're just sitting here watching. I'm like, do you hear it? You hear that music?
And I'm sitting there fucking, and then Jim goes on like shout out to everybody at Horrorphilia. I love you guys. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I love what we're doing here. I was like, yo, what the hell? Like, I miss all the fucking fun, man. I get to bed early one night, and it's like, what the hell?
Oh man, yeah, that was
heartfelt. You know, when you do shit like that, it's heartfelt,
it was
man.
Awesome. I was like, you got fucking deep and sentimental and shit for a second. Joe, I'm glad we hooked up, bro. Yeah, it was funny as fuck, man. You gotta check it out.
I skimmed it, dude. I didn't listen to the whole fight. Now I gotta go back and listen.
I gotta put it on the iTunes.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, shit, I'd be laughing. I'm like, these fucking guys, man.
I just finished the bottle.
Nice.
See, that shit's fun. Like, that's what I find interesting. Because we're talking about it now, like how funny it was. Like, that shit's fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like, these people who try to get all professional and like serious, it's boring as hell.
Fuck that.
I like talking about fucking porn stars coming to strip on their birthday at Blush nightclub in Pittsburgh.
Shout out to her. She's coming to the club.
I want to see Sophie D at Blush nightclub in Pittsburgh, baby.
Oh shit! I just had a fucking epiphany of that night. Sophie D.
And they come back to you.
And fucking Joey goes, penetration.
Penetration.
Fucking awesome.
Man. Maybe
check it out. It goes by like
more stars on our show.
Word, right?
Like Howard Stern.
You want me to?
You want me to? I got it.
Wait! I got to see that. The finger was. Do you want me to? I do.
You give me okay, I will get you. I will get you what you need.
Oh man.
That's my world.
I need to go back to 12 years old. That's what I need to do. I need to relive life again.
It is fun.
Oh man. All right. Enough of the fucking drama.
All right, give us your fucking zombie head.
Oh,
Dude. You have-
1.5 zombie heads. I, in my heart, this will always be one of the movies that was a stepping stone into the genre for me. But as a whole, it had some nice aspects to it, but very minimal, and it was not executed on the level that I like. So anyway, 1.5 zombie heads. You already heard me for fucking an hour talking. Let's go to They Live because I got fucking script pieces I got to read.
Oh man.
Actually, let me write the rating down. If for those of you who listen to Death by Podcast, me and Mike have a little competition going on who could watch the most movies, and that was just my 30th film.
30. That's fucking psychotic. You know that?
In 20 days. Not bad.
No, it's not. It's fucking insanity. It's what it is. Who the fuck has time, man? You're insane.
Well, I spent a lot of time driving back and forth across Brooklyn in traffic. So I got a little post in my car, and I've watched like 4 movies in the past week in my car.
Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, I listened to Death by I was talking to you on Facebook a little bit. I listened to Death by Podcast today at work. And that was a good episode, man.
Episode.
Yeah, good times. I watched that movie Clinical you guys were talking about on Netflix.
What'd you think of that?
I thought it was cool, man. I liked it. I didn't know nothing about it. My wife put it on, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, yo, this is the girl from Hocus Pocus. The main star is the girl from Hocus Pocus and Ladybugs with Jonathan Brandis.
Oh, like the young girl.
Yeah, the young girl.
Mm.
So I'm like, dude, she was like hot as hell when I was a little kid. Then I'm thinking back.
You're talking about from Monkey Trouble too? What's her name?
Monkey Trouble.
I forget Shorty's name. I know Monkey Trouble. I forget. I don't remember Shorty's name, but
oh, come on.
But then I'm telling my wife, I'm like, I remember like watching Ladybugs as a kid, and he has that daydream of her running in the fucking bikini, and I'm thinking like, I remember thinking that was like the hottest thing in the world, but she was probably like a fucking 13-year-old girl, and it's disgusting now, you know.
Wait,
isn't that the same girl from Miss Doubtfire?
I think so.
Thora Birch?
Not the little one. The fucking
the girl, the older girl from Miss Doubtfire.
No, she wasn't.
We're thinking of different ass people right now.
Hold on,
I don't know.
I'll find a. Just
fuck it.
Give the kid a minute. I got you.
Technology.
I'm thinking of Thora Birch, dude.
I don't know. You could be right. I got a fucking.
Thora Birch is Ghost World, right?
Yeah, she was in like American Beauty and
American Beauty, yeah.
Yeah, Ghost World.
I know what I was going to say before. I forgot.
But I don't remember her in Ladybugs, dude.
Fucking hold on, man. Got the kid fucking thumbing through shit. I don't know what I'm doing right now.
I drank this whole bottle of champagne, right?
Vanessa.
And I am not
sure. Hold up.
All right, that's not her then.
This chick. Can you see?
Yeah.
That's her, dude. She was in fucking Hocus Pocus and she was in Ladybugs.
Oh. She was in Corky Romano too.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I remember her
Corky Romano too.
Corky Romano,
I remember that.
dude. Yeah,
the best scene is when like the coke blows up all over his face.
Oh my god, he goes to the press conference. Shit is fantastic.
Oh man. What I was gonna say was I drank the whole bottle of champagne, right? And I'm fine. Like that night, I drink these. This is the second time I drank those things. Lagunitas, little somethings. Well, I'll tell you right now, they give you a little something, all right.
What is it, like an IPA or one of those kind of fucking things?
Yeah, but it's like 8% alcohol instead of like 5, you know? And I drank 6 of them. And
yeah, I was listening.
I didn't have much, so I was sauced.
Bro, you came on to do your fucking rating for I guess Jane Doe, the first movie you did, and like the whole tone of your voice changed, and like from that point, I was like, yo, that last sip Joey just took is the one that put him over the edge. He was a fucking mess after that, and by the end of it, Mike was just yelling at you. It was like awesome.
It was like you handling a fucking drunk criminal or something.
Yeah. Was it like a 2-hour and 40-minute episode you did or something?
Yeah, that's why in the beginning I cracked the first one. 2 hours later, I'm fucking wrecked.
Yeah, man.
You know?
So I was like, that shit's kind of interesting. That thing you got going on about what should be horror and what shouldn't. That whole controversial topic.
Next episode. Yeah. And I just watched the movie The Good Neighbor.
I want to see that. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
Watch it. Great fucking movie. Great fucking movie.
I keep asking my wife to watch it. She's like, oh, maybe later. Then she put that clinical thing on, and she's like, oh, it's a Netflix original. So in my mind, I'm thinking it's like a series. So I'm like, they're going to wrap this whole shit up right now. What's the rest of the show going to be about? It fucking turned out just a
dude. Fucking, I told you to watch that movie like 3 episodes ago.
You told us to watch Clinical?
No, The Good Neighbor.
Oh, The Good Neighbor? That's probably why I've been wanting to watch it.
I'm looking at my TV. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting ready to turn on this movie right now on Netflix called The Good Neighbor. It has James Caan in it, blah, blah, blah. And you were like, oh, okay. I said that like I watched it like 3 weeks ago.
Did. I know, because I've been meaning to watch it for a minute. I just never got around to it.
I saw it on the Facebook group today. Everybody started watching it, and Mike was posting how it brought him to tears. I was like,
well, I watched it.
Didn't bring me to tears.
So fuck you.
F those guys.
Didn't bring me to tears, but an episode of Family Matters definitely will.
Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good movie, dude. I mean,
especially those Waldo episodes.
Yeah, Waldo's a problem.
Touches close to home, Waldo. Shout out to the Count and the Sesame Street crew.
Are we going to talk about They Live or what?
We'll get into it. We didn't do our what's going on in the beginning. We kind of dove right into fucking what's it called?
I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, we didn't say what was going on, and now what's going on? A bunch of random shit.
So,
anyway, I guess we could go into They Live now. Thanks, Jim.
I know, Jim. Party.
Just throwing the salt on the fire. Hey, can we get a close up of those eyes? Let's show the eyes.
There it is.
That's fucking like I could never put a contact in my eye.
That's awesome.
No,
definitely a good purchase.
Put the Jason mask on with those eyes.
I did before you got on the air.
You missed all the mask fucking going on before.
I missed all the fun.
Good times.
Is that China on the wall back there?
What? In his house or mine?
In his house.
Oh, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That is fucking crazy.
It's some creepy shit.
You know what's even creepier? The fucking mannequin head that it's on. The chick.
I found a website that was selling lucha masks for cheap, so I wanted to go buy a bunch of those things and fucking just decorate my house with lucha masks. My wife's like, nah, that's not gonna happen.
Hey, you want to see what I got on my walls? You see that?
Nice.
Those are my rabbis.
Is that one of your neighbors?
Like my wife's grandmother hand stitched that shit.
Get out of here.
Holy shit.
Is that crazy?
That's fucking bananas.
I got a hot chick in a bikini with a Michael Myers mask.
And I got a bunch of rabbis.
We live very different lives.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Oh
I don't
man.
set this up for the show. This is living in my living room every day, all day.
Holy shit. I used to have a little man cave with my fish posters. And then I moved to my mother-in-law's. Now I got a garage full of fucking soot from my bowl.
Well, my wife actually bought me all the Shining shit that's in the back. There was a tattoo convention down here when we first moved here, and the guy who fucking painted all them and shit has a booth at it. He's selling all of them. So we went back to the tattoo convention this year, and he has a bunch of fucking paintings, like same kind of style, but it's all apes in suits, like portraits of like gorillas and baboons wearing suits. And so now I want to make the guest room the fucking gorilla room where I just have all portraits, gorillas in suits and shit all around. But my wife wasn't a fan of that either. She's like, when my mom comes and visits, that's her room. I'm like, dude, your mom's gonna love that. How cool the fucking gorilla apes are cool no matter what, you know?
Yeah. Except when you watch a Dario Argento movie. Mike did not like the monkey aspect of that movie.
Nah, man. It was a good episode, though, man. Because I was thinking, man, dude, I was on fucking the Direct TV the other day, right? Like searching through the on demand. They had Galaxy Quest in the fucking horror section.
What?
Another fucking creep show over here. Look at this guy.
What the fuck? What the hell is that? Holy
Scaring the shit. How's that to breathe in, dude? Yeah.
I was gonna say, holy shit. Relax, Prometheus.
Well, that's the thing too, man. Like people consider Alien a horror movie, but like, do they consider Predator a horror movie?
Yes.
Like a horror movie though? Like I don't know. Like I always thought of Alien as one, but Predator I never kind of thought of as like horror. I don't know why. They're both aliens.
Predator's like a slasher film.
Action
if you think about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because fucking it has like weapons and shit. So in my mind, it's like more science fiction than I don't know.
Right. I mean, there's definitely a gore factor. You see skin and bodies hanging.
Yeah, I guess.
So I mean, it has the elements, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like even like Starship Troopers, sci-fi movie, but very gory. You know. Still a sci-fi movie. So I mean, and next episode we're going to talk about Green Room, and if that's a horror movie, we're going to talk probably about The Good Neighbor, and I think that's what we're doing on Death by Podcast every week. We're going to pose a controversial question, something to get me and Mike to fight about.
Yeah,
you know.
Like some fucking controversy and scream at each other.
Alicia will, be the buffer, and the two of us will butt heads. Story of Death by Podcast.
Nice.
So, but all right, let's move on to They Live, because this right here is one of the best movies ever made. Oh, I said it. That's right.
Yeah.
I wish I could see Jim's facial expression.
Jim's like, shut the fuck up. The best movie ever made.
No, not the best movie ever made, but
it's on the list. It's on the short list.
On the short list. It was based on a short story by Ray Nelson, 8 o'clock in the morning, which I wanted to read before the episode. So I don't know anything about it.
I just laughing at Jim throwing the fucking mask across his fucking living room. Like,
let it fly.
I'm done with you.
But I'll start off with my baseline thoughts about this. So this is like my third time watching it. And one thing I noticed was it's like an urban Western.
I can see that.
Right? Think about how much harmonica and fucking I'm just waiting for the hay bale to come blowing by. There's so many scenes. And I was now all right, like I just said, I think this is a great movie. And watching it this time now for the show, I really paid close attention. So I got a shitload of notes. But all right. Like I said, once it opens up, it's like an urban western. You get this great wall of graffiti, followed with this slow pacing, almost bluesy western harmonica. Right? You get Roddy Piper walking the train tracks. Come on, yeah.
Nada.
Can you get any more western expansion than that? Yeah, it can. You start hearing the heavy bass with the harmonica, and then acoustic guitar, and has this country feel. But then a saxophone comes in. I mean, this opening scene sets the stage for the whole movie because you hear that same kind of bass, harmonica, fingers throughout the whole film. So as far as tone, I think this is an urban western. And I don't even know if I would consider this a horror movie at all.
I would say even more like on the science fiction fucking level of shit, you know?
It's like a Twilight Zone.
It doesn't have. Oh, it's definitely like a Twilight Zone thing. You know, I mean, think about it, right? This movie is not loaded with any gore at all.
Nah.
None. You know, I mean, it's about aliens, right? Let alone the whole context behind it all, but generally speaking, trope-wise, aliens, right? Futuristic dystopian society. Boom. Like I said, if it had these, I don't know. Now that we're talking about it, I don't think I would consider They Live a horror movie.
No.
Look. Obey.
The unveil. The unveiling.
Consume the beef patty.
Consume.
No, I think the fact that it was a John Carpenter film made it a horror film. But I mean, look at the other movies that he did that weren't Halloween that I would not consider horror.
Like vampires.
Little China.
Yeah. Big Trouble in Little China, but then he did
Escape from New York. He did. What was the other one with Kurt Russell?
Escape from L.A. Escape from New York. Obviously, The Thing is horror.
The Thing. Yeah.
No.
What else did he? Starman.
What did he do? Prom Night?
Right? Carpenter did Starman. Did Carpenter do Starman?
I don't know. Did he do Prom Night?
No, he didn't do Prom Night.
No. What else did he do?
Vampires.
Yeah, Starman, directed by John Carpenter. Did you guys see Starman?
No.
Great movie. Great fucking movie. Starring Kurt Russell.
I like Overboard with Kurt Russell.
And Goldie Hawn.
That's just a match made in heaven.
They got married after that.
Yeah.
Did they actually get married? I don't think they actually got married.
I thought they're married because he was like Kate Hudson's fucking stepdad and shit.
Yeah, but I don't think they like legalized marriage. Anyway, fuck them.
He did Village of the Damned. He did Body Bags.
That's right. He did the Village of the Damned.
Prince of Darkness. Big Trouble in Little China. Starman. Christine. We talked about Christine tonight.
Did we talk about Christine tonight?
Escape from New York.
When did we talk about Christine tonight?
Or no, we talked about Carrie. Never mind.
Yeah.
Same thing, different bitch.
Same thing, different vehicle.
The Fog.
A teenage girl, an automotive vehicle. Same shit.
The Fog. Assault on Precinct 13. There's a lot of movies that he did that were, I would consider, non-horror. I mean,
definitely.
He did Elvis, the 1979 TV movie.
Him and Kurt Russell, man.
He loves Kurt Russell. Slipping it in there. Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
He actually wanted Kurt Russell to be in this, and then he felt he was using him too much, and he cast Rowdy Piper.
Then he did The Ward. 2010, The Ward. Did you see that movie?
No, I was scared to watch it because John Carpenter's. Actually, I heard it wasn't that bad, but I don't know. It's one of those things where, one of your directors who makes amazing movies, you just, don't want to touch their future shit like Argento. So,
I don't know. It has Amanda Heard in it, who's hot, and Danielle Panabaker, who was in the remake of Friday the 13th. So they're hot chicks.
Titties.
I'll watch it just for the titty.
Titties. That's what I love about this podcast. We can talk about titties.
All
Maybe we
right,
can
so
talk
what
about titties on Death by Podcast, but I don't think Alicia wants to hear about titties.
Nah. You guys can talk about penises on this one podcast.
Ooh, nothing like a dong.
Make them feel welcome. There's no fucking carpools to glory holes on Death by Podcast. I can tell you that.
That's a shit show.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
That's what makes this the
You're
A
welcome.
show, baby.
Thanks, Jim. Oh, the A show. This is the Friday Night Raw. But all right, let's get back to the movie, the vehicle. Let's get back in our vehicle, boys. Drive to that glory hole. But you get this idea, right? Like, this is not standard America. You know, he comes in, he's trying to get a job. That he talks about how the city was before in Denver, lost 14 banks. So what's going on with society, right? You lost 14 banks.
Definitely economy shit in shambles.
Right. So after that, the next scene, he meets he goes to get some work at a construction site. He meets up with Keith David. Was that Keith David?
Yeah.
Keith David played Frank.
My man. Keith,
Apparently-
I was
Also from Men at Work with Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez.
Yes. Phenomenal actor. Something About Mary will have you pissing your pants. The
With
beginning
Marky
scene
Post.
when he's the husband.
Yeah.
Oh my God, hysterical. So you have Keith David.
Franks and Beans.
Franks and Beans. Keith David is, I love him. I love him. So anyway, he meets him and they're at their like makeshift camp town thing because if you're, Roddy Piper's like the beginning of Rambo, drifter. He's a drifter,
Well, he goes to the job placement place, and the lady like basically ignores him and tells him we have nothing for you. Then he wanders the streets again, finds a construction site, asks the foreman for work. He gives him a job. Keith David looks at him and gives him the creepy eye for no reason whatsoever, but whatever. And then he offers him, hey, I'm going down to this place. I'll lead you if you want to go. And it's basically a homeless community. It's a homeless community, basically, where they, sustain their own, living situation. And there's one guy who is basically leading them, but we'll talk about him soon.
All right. So, actually, before all that, there's a scene where there's a preacher. The preacher says, he's talking about how they've taken the hearts and minds of the leaders. They recruited the rich and the powerful, blinded us to the truth. The human spirit's corrupt. And they posed the ultimate question, which I think is one of the central themes of this film, is why do we worship greed? Why do we worship material items, right? From birth to death, they have us under control, and our owners are all around us. So that's setting the stage for what's to come. Then he stumbles upon a construction site. Very thorough notes, guys.
Yeah, I mean, basically,
You
through
got
the
the
movie,
script right fucking in front of you.
I actually have all. I have all these notes too. I just don't go in depth, but they're basically using. Do you find it funny that the fact, like they're making commentary on the fact that TV is what is leading people to, greed and consumption, but yet they are hacking into the TV to. They're using TV as well. You know what I mean? I don't know. If you look into it, they're kind of like using, like they're trying to bring down the higher power by using the same methods that the higher power uses.
Yeah.
By
I don't know.
going on TV and outing them.
Well, I forget if it's a news report you hear or something, but they say the sleeping middle class.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to, I guess, get in there to wake these people up to that foul shit is happening. Yeah.
he's sleeping outside at his pack, and he's watching a TV through a window on someone else's TV, and it's a woman on the TV, and she's like, "People love me, they watch me. I never get old, and I never die." So like one scene right there. What is he saying about celebrity? Right. This movie is all about the underlying message. This is a movie to Joey the fuck out of.
This is a movie that I think is very simplistic and to the point, and
well, that's on such a broad topic. That
such a broad topic, but it's very in your face. Like we know exactly what they're talking about. So I don't know.
Especially at the time it came out with fucking Reaganomics and all that kind of shit that was going on.
Reaganomics.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's American Psycho.
I like that.
I can see at the end,
yeah. Keith David's like, I got a wife and kids. The steel mills went under. So, this is, I guess, not this. It is dystopian America in a way. It's not like the Hunger Games, but the middle class and the lower class are, like I said on the last episode, sheep. But another thing that stood out was Keith David says, the golden rule: he who has the gold makes the rules, right? And no, sorry, spoilers. If you haven't seen this movie, what the fuck you doing? But no, the ending, right? I want more. I want to know what happens next, but that's not the important part, That's not what this is about. So anyway, he talks about that this is a game, life is a game, and that is true. Life is a game, but there's a lot of questions to be asked as far as what happens next, but we'll save that for in a bit. So anyway, back at the I call it Tent Town in my notes. Back at Tent Town, there's a hacker in television, right? So we have this dude, and I'm gonna just read this real quick. First, it's an ad about press on nails. Then he says, it comes in, impede all the active things you do. We've got beautiful. Oh no, that's the nail salon shit. So we got natural to apply 7 different colors. Isn't that like that? Right? It gives you variety. Anyway, so our impulses are being.
Dude, you're a sick fuck.
Our impulses are. And actually, if you look at a Facebook post today, I posted about reading this essay called "This Is Water" by David Foster Wallace. I really encourage everybody in our nation to read that essay. This is Water, David Foster Wallace. Do it. Anyway, our impulses are being redirected. We live in an artificially induced fucking iPhone shuttle. Artificially induced. Because our impulses are being redirected. We live in an artificially induced state of consciousness. The second time tonight, that ass. Oh, that's the other guy. That's the second time that asshole cut in. The movement began 8 months ago by a group of scientists. They accidentally discovered these signals being sent. Must have taken them months to figure out how to do this. The underclass is growing. Human rights are non-existent in their irrepressive society. We are their unwitting accomplice. Their intention to rule rests with the annihilation of consciousness. We have been lulled into a trance. They have made us indifferent. We are focused only on our own gain. They are safe as long as they are not discovered. That is their method of survival. Keep us asleep. Keep us selfish. Keep us sedated. Blow it out of your ass. No, but seriously, that is one of the most powerful monologues of modern day cinematic history. I'm saying it right here on this podcast. Because flash forward 30 years later, 29 years later, that shit speaks more than ever. More than ever.
I don't know what you're talking about. This country is perfect. There is never anything has to do with that going on ever.
Never.
No, nothing. What are you talking about, Joe?
Like I said, I mean, this stuff is like common sense when you're looking at it now. When it came out in '88, we don't remember that shit. But looking back now, we're like, this is pretty straightforward. Like, we know that that's, the world is run by mainstream media and the politics and the government and TV and all this shit. It's not really crazy anymore. But in '88, yeah, it was a good premise for a film.
But you know what? I guarantee you, walk up to somebody on the street. Have you ever seen They Live? What? The average person does not know about They Live.
I know.
So, in '88, when this movie came out, people, this is one of John Carpenter's least known films. People do not know that John Carpenter made a film called They Live. It's crazy.
I make a post about every film we review, and this is the only one that I had a lot of comments on saying, I love They Live, I love They Live, I love They Live.
Of course, because they're all genre fans, though. You know what I mean? This is a classic. But like I said, walk around Manhattan, walk up to somebody and ask them, have you ever seen They Live? Half of them, if not more, are going to say no.
I'm not coming to Manhattan just to prove that point.
I'm not doing it. I'm not taking that ride.
Pittsburgh. Downtown Pittsburgh.
I could do that. Not this.
Shout out to my boys from Pittsburgh, my Grateful Dead buddies, Jay and Rob.
Oh, I thought you meant like the actual Grateful Dead. I was like, Joe, you're cool with the Grateful Dead?
Nah, just some buddies from Pittsburgh that I always meet up with at shows. Just want to shout them out.
I just want to shout out the Steelers, and I hope they kill Tom Brady.
Fuck yeah, fuck you, baby.
Like, actually kill him, not just beat him in a football game. Like, I hope somebody ends his life on the football field.
This is going to be a great AFC game.
To go back to the monologue again, right? You say that it's fuck you, motherfucker. You say that everybody knows this is simple, this is common knowledge. That's what you think. Evil. That's what you think. That's what you think.
Go ahead.
That's what you're wrong. Most people don't realize this. And that's why they call it maniacs.
I know, like, the people who are obsessed with like watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians can't wrap their head around the concept of what this movie's trying to fucking say. Even now,
they're dumb.
Yeah,
they're the sheeple. They're the sheeple that get recruited into this world that is basically what we see in this film. Like the homeless guy who, at the end, spoiler, is recruited and wearing a suit and tie saying, oh, I'm glad you guys got recruited, blah, blah, blah. He was the one sitting there watching the TV, at the camp. But
right.
That's what the world is.
That life, that suppressed life, being poor, because remember, this is not your classic America. They're living in 10 towns everywhere. And there's 10 towns in our country. But where did this exactly say where it took place? Because I wasn't sure, but I saw a sign that said Broadway. So I was like, is this Manhattan?
I don't know.
I don't think it's supposed to be Manhattan. I thought it was supposed to be like a West Coast thing.
Yeah, because the woman's house where he goes looks like it's like on
hills, like the Hollywood,
like the hills. Yeah.
Right. I wasn't sure where the setting actually took place. But the on the glasses, and that's when the whole movie fucking hits the fan. It's like, what the fuck? So the first one you get is, first he stumbles. He's like, what's going on? There's a church with a recording, and he's like, what the fuck's going on? It turns out there's all these shady characters, and they're dealing with boxes of sunglasses. What the fuck? So he stumbles upon these sunglasses, and all of a sudden, comes in, all the cops take down 10 Town, destroy, shoot motherfuckers, And this brings the first act of the film to a close. All right. The next scene is Roddy waking up. It's daytime. He goes, he gets the box of sunglasses, and he's not a happy camper. But he puts on his sunglasses, he's walking down the street. First sign he sees, it says, "We are creating the transparent computing environment. Control data." That is the advertisement on the billboard, right? What does it say? He puts on his glasses, and what do we have? We have dun, 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 obey. Motherfucker. Right? Obey. Look at what we're staring at. We're fucking obeying, all right. That's a shit sure.
One of the best sunglass features of the film that I think is when he looks at the street worker and he looks down at the money and it says, "This is your God."
Yeah,
it's the dollar bills. Like that's how we live. That's our entire world that runs our life is money.
And I mean, even in real life, if you think about it, God is supposed to be kept out of all shit in politics and fucking out of schools. You're not supposed to talk about religion, but on money, it says, "In God we trust."
In God we trust, yes.
You know?
There's hypocrisy in everything that goes on in this world.
Oh, yes. You know, there's another sign. The next sign, it's a Caribbean vacation sign, right? And what does it say? Marry and reproduce, because this world is, they're using humans. They're using the world for basically natural resources for their, right?
This is their third world. Like they just come in here, they harvest, and they take over, and then they can go anywhere they want.
These are all the different things that original scene. It says no independent thought. Then there's a sign, close out sale, consume. Forget about it. That's my wife right there. What are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Everything's on sale. Buy.
All the magazines, that whole spread, a wall of fucking subliminal messages. Obey, stay asleep, consume, do not question authority, watch TV, no imagination. All these fucking things are being fed into society. In that movie and today. And you get the first glimpse of the aliens, even though this looks more like a zombie.
Yeah,
it looks like it's a little more scarier than what it actually looks like in the film. But anyway, we get our first taste. And who is he? A guy in a suit picking up the Wall Street Journal, right? An elitist. And then what do we get? That iconic scene that Jim mentioned, the dollars that said,
"This is your God."
This is your God. So, amazing scenes. This is my favorite part. And then you get that iconic quote, which we'll bring up in a sec, but they're in a grocery store and he's looking around. You got aliens and humans, and he's looking at that. The old lady bumps into him, right? Like, I don't even know exactly what he said, but he said something about, it looks like your head went in a cheese dip, the cheese grater. I don't know what he said.
He said
cheese something. Back
your head fell in the cheese dip back in 1957.
The cheese dip. I was like, what the fuck? Great. And he's like, oh my gosh. The way he executes this line, Roddy Piper, is fucking amazing. You're okay. This one, you're fucking ugly.
You're fucking ugly, formaldehyde face.
Formaldehyde face. He calls it. Hysterical. Now, that's what's the beauty of this film, right? Where in the last film, it was like the tone just was like a sound wave. This one executed the tone properly. while being a sci-fi horror genre film, it goes above and beyond, where it has comedic elements, serious social commentary, and it stays like that throughout the whole film rather than changing, right? All right. So she talks into the watch, tells them that they're coming or whatever the fuck it was, right?
Yeah, the Dick Tracy watch. As a kid, I was always
Dick Tracy watch.
She says, "I have one that can see. He's blah blah blah," and starts describing him and all that shit.
Right. At that exact moment, I noticed he was wearing a wedding ring, Roddy Piper.
Yeah,
but I think maybe when they were in the hotel, he mentioned something about that. Otherwise, I don't.
No, he refused to take it off because he had just gotten married, and he was like, "I'm wearing it all the fucking time." So you could see it in a few scenes, but it was just like he was so in love with his wife. He was like, "I'm not taking this shit off at all."
So I thought they could have emphasized that a little more, but nothing.
He was getting up in that Piper's pit,
but he was like. It's like pouring perfume on a pig. He has the best one-liners. Speaking of that,
he does such a 180, dude. Like puts the sunglasses on and all of a sudden starts flipping out and killing people.
Well, that's the thing. The sunglasses, though, they get you high. They alter you. So you're not your normal self when you wear these things.
Yeah, you pop them off. They get in headaches if they wear them too long. You take them off. Well, that's the thing, though. I thought they didn't get into how these glasses actually work. But they do show that quick little scene where you see like fucking chemistry sets where they're making these fucking things, Yeah. So at least they imply that there's some kind of science behind it. They might not explain it, but it isn't like he just found this random pair of sunglasses that fucking do it.
And that's the thing. Like, normally I would want an explanation. I don't care about the explanation because everything else works in this movie, And this movie. It's not trying to be grounded, serious, and literal, right? This is a genre film. But so we get Roddy Piper clotheslining a cop, the first wrestling move of the night.
Short arm clothesline too. That was you ran him in like Jake the Snake style, setting up for the DDT.
So he walked into the bank fully loaded with weapons, and the iconic line of the film. Anybody?
I'll say it.
Go ahead, Jim.
Oh, Christ. I lost it.
I've come here to chew bubblegum.
I've come here to bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of
bubblegum.
I'm all out of bubblegum.
And apparently that line was ad-libbed. That's a fucking line he had in his head for wrestling promos.
That's hysterical.
And they did it in the movie and they kept it. And not for nothing, from being like a homeless dude, like wandering the streets, he was fucking surgical with that shotgun in that bank.
Yeah.
Bro, I mean, that's a shotgun. He was picking motherfuckers off from all over the place, that goddamn thing.
He's a man's man, right? Fuck. Are you kidding me? It's Roddy Piper. And I think that's one of the things, like Carpenter, he could have went with Kurt Russell, but let's put Roddy fucking Piper here. I mean, you
I'm
can't
a Kurt Russell
not
fan.
watch him and be biased.
What's that?
It was a good casting.
Oh yeah. Well, now, like we've seen this so many times, we could like start like nitpicking like funny shit you kind of never thought about. But like a dude who's wandering the streets homeless would never be able to maintain the nutrition and keep that physique.
No, especially the recovery rate after that battle.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh no, but he wasn't always on the streets either.
Nah, he was always, but he's fucking jacked. I mean, that early scene at the construction site when he's shirtless, like swinging a fucking sledgehammer, whatever the hell he was doing.
He looks so natural, though. He doesn't look like Hogan inorganic jacked. Like he looks organic jacked.
Does he look like one of the guys at the Glory Hole, Jay?
Oh yes. No, I don't know. I only see the beige.
Fucking reach around, Rob.
All right, so let's move along to get to this exciting fight scene.
Well, the chick, in the bank, he has that other line when the guy tries to call him in, And he says, "Mama don't like tattletales" or some shit like that too. And then that's the first time you see like the teleportation these things could do through the Dick Tracy watch.
Crazy. They just disappear. So where are we? Okay, so he kidnaps the chick, right? Pulls her in, gets her in the car. Let's go back to your place. He falls asleep, wakes up. She knocks him over the head with a glass and pushes him out a giant glass window, falls down the Hollywood Hills, and somehow manages to end up unscathed except for a red face. It's like all of a sudden his face got red.
He had a few scratches on it, but yeah.
I mean, if we could just also mention for a second, what the fuck happened to Meg Foster?
Holy shit, man. She
Bro.
was hot back then.
I mean, I understand she's like pushing 70 now, but that bitch aged in dog years, man. She's fucking, oh my God.
She must have been hitting the junk up.
Yeah, she was living hard, bro. She looked like a catcher's mitt now.
She looks like a crackhead like on the street right now.
In 31, she looks like a crackhead. In Lords of Salem, I thought that was a boy. I forgot. And when we talk about it on Death by Podcast, it reminded me of somebody. I thought it was a boy. The actor. I don't remember who offhand, but I gotta listen to my episode or look at my notes.
Your copious notes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Roddy makes it back to the camp, and he tries to get in touch with Frank.
And apparently that part of Frank was written specifically for Kevin, the fuck's his name?
Keith David.
There you go. Keith David. Because Carpenter liked him after The Thing. And Joey searching his notes.
All right, enough. Sorry.
Which leads to the longest fight scene in fucking cinematic history.
It is, actually, right?
You can find that.
I know it was. I don't know if it still is.
Shoot for shoot.
Was.
South Park, dude.
Oh,
Timmy versus Jimmy. They did a fight scene. It was a shot for shot with this fight scene. It was great.
Apparently, the fight scene was only supposed to be like 20 seconds long, but Rowdy and homeboy, I'll keep wanting to call him fucking Kenny now. That was his name. Keith David. There you go. That for K names are no good. Apparently, they decided to go like blow for blow with each other, and they just agreed not to actually hit each other in the face or in the nuts. And they just decided to film this 5 minutes and like 20-something second long fucking fight scene.
There's side suplexes, back drops, tiger bombs, fucking
tiger bombs.
30 deeds and shit. What the
30
fuck?
deeds. He hit a dragon suplex off a car. I saw it.
Stunning people, RKOs. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, man. They beat the shit out of each other, them two. That was awesome.
I love, like, what about whenever Roddy, like, swings the fucking 2x4 and knocks out the back window of a car, and he, like, the dude acts like it was his car. It wasn't his car.
It was his car, wasn't it? No, I thought that's why he ran into him. He was walking to his car, and Roddy was waiting by his car.
They walked to the camp. He didn't have a car.
No, but after, right, he was hiding in camp, remember? And he's like, get the fuck out of here. So then, how does he know Keith David's going to walk down a random alley to a car? No, it's Keith David's car. He knew.
I didn't notice that scene, maybe. I don't know.
No, they don't literally say it. It's insinuated, I believe. So that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah, when he like starts smiling, and all of a sudden he just starts getting fucking rib cage punched and shit.
They're just laughing.
And 5 more minutes of fighting.
Amazing fight scene.
And then they're sharing fucking a motel room.
And then I could not help but literally crack the fuck up when the fight's done and the two of them are walking up the block with the sunglasses on.
Fucking limping and shit.
Two fucking assholes.
What does he say after the fight, though? He says life's a bitch and she's back in heat.
Yeah.
Life's a bitch and she's back in heat. Yep. So yeah, man, great fucking great stuff here, man. So anyway, um, where are we? All right, so they end up running into Gilbert, I think his name was, the guy who could get you anything in the beginning, and he's like, "We got a meeting. Meet us here tonight." So they go to a meeting, and it's basically like the equivalent of the Star Wars Rebels, but in this universe. So it's like a meeting.
So Admiral Akbar was there.
Yes. Admiral Akbar was Gilbert.
And he yelled at, "It's a trap!" And then the fucking cops came busting in.
It's a trap.
It's a trap! It's a trap!
But you know, in this scene, we
Rest in peace.
get some R.I.P.
R.I.P. baby.
But this scene is important because in the rest of the film, you don't really get the behind everything, right? So we find out that this alien race is taking over, and they're trying to recruit humans to join them. They give them money, they promote them, and basically they're depleting the planet and looking to move on, right? So here they're at basically what's like headquarters. They acquire Watch from they don't give the guy a name, but he's like their weapons dude. You know, it's hitting control. They can disappear with the Watch, but they can't figure out how to use it. Although, of course, excuse me, Roddy and KD managed to figure it out. But we have a major explosion, and the rebels are infiltrated by,
well,
they live cops.
Before
I forgot
that,
something.
the woman who threw Roddy out the window shows up. And she is supposedly part of the Rebel Alliance. I'll call it that.
Rebel Alliance.
And
She's also the only character in the movie that has a first and last name.
Interesting.
Yeah, Thompson. What was her first name?
Sharon. That's
Shannon
not right.
Thompson.
Something like that.
I worked with a Sharon Thompson.
I know her last name was Thompson.
Holly Thompson. My bad.
Holly. That was
Holly Thompson. Yeah. So she shows up at this camp, or not the camp, the hideout, and shortly after that, the cops show up and start blasting the fuck out of people.
Right. So now, you know, she works for the cable company. That's another thing. You know, this is Cable 54, right? This is the cable company who's fucking in cahoots with the aliens, not the broadcast television networks.
No, we're gonna go local with this, people. We're gonna go straight local. Cable 54, not NBC, not ABC, not CBS. We're going Cable 54. Holly Thompson got the goods.
You know. So we have an explosion, and the guys manage to escape. Everybody dies, but the two of them and Meg Foster, right? Somehow they manage to evade 100 bullets. So anyway,
I have that in my notes too. Everybody escapes except for the stars. Or I thought everybody dies except for the stars.
See, that's the thing. Like, this movie pays attention to so many details, but like something like that, right, is totally genre related. You know, you got these guys shooting fucking semi-automatic weapons, and there's thousands of rounds fired, yet none of these people got hit. You know, but it's a genre film. They're the stars of the film. You know. But what I thought was amazing was they pay attention to details. Like, okay, so they go in the hole. Now, this is a whole intricate fucking system of traveling around. There's bilingual instructions. You know, like,
what language is this? I don't know.
You know, they got the Spanish language, but you see like the language, the you know, letters, the characters of their language, and these things that there's a glimpse of, and they could have totally not put that there and it would have worked. But that detail is very specific and isolating, you know, takes the humans away from these aliens. So, I mean, things like that are crucial. Anyway, so they stumble upon all the bad dudes at this big gala. It's a mix of humans and aliens, and they come across, let's call him Fievel.
Five.
I don't know what his name was. Fievel Goes West. That dude, I don't know why. I just called him Fievel, but Fievel, he's like, boys, you converted and joined us? Yeah. So stupid and gullible. They lead him, they make him unveil all their secrets, really.
His name is actually Drifter in the film.
Oh, Rambo.
Well, I just love how they show up at like this fucking black tie event dressed like construction workers and nobody seems to fucking notice.
Nobody says shit.
Like they don't stand out. Like everybody's wearing tuxedos and Rowdy's wearing a friggin' blue Joey flannel / robe.
Beef nip shirt.
Beef nip shirt.
Beef nips.
So funny. And then and then all of a sudden they get the great tour inside and out of the fucking lair. Like, oh, you guys are brand new? Let me show you around to everything we fucking do and why we do it.
The guy who was homeless 2 days ago got some money thrown at him, and now he knows the whole fucking layout of the place.
Yeah. Here, dude. We're gonna give you this suit and tie, and then all of a sudden you're gonna know everything about everything.
See, but Carpenter was smart in directing this film because at that point, there's like literally 5 minutes left in the movie, you know? So, like, rather than trying to figure out why and think about all these kinds of shit that you would think about later, it's like boom, 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 you know? The events unroll. And that ending I thought was powerful as fuck, you know? Because, okay, obviously spoilers are up. So we get Roddy and Keith David, they make their way out. They're running up the stairs to go to the roof to take out the satellite, which will take out their disguises and their facade. So going up the stairs, they have Meg Foster. She stops. Boom. Not on screen, just hear a shot go off. Keith David gone. I wanted to fucking knee this bitch in the face.
She was a treacherous Jezebel, that one.
She was a harlot.
And the first time I saw it, like, I wasn't expecting it. She was good. She was good. She had me, that little fucking hula.
Yeah. It's her eyes.
I didn't think she was.
It's her eyes and that perma. And
I mean, the fact is, like, if you paid attention, like the fact that he was when he first took her to her house, he's telling her all this shit, like, oh, I can see them and I can see this, and then she acted like she didn't know anything, and then all of a sudden she shows up at this rebel fucking meeting, like, you knew if she was part of the rebels, she would have known what he was talking about and would have believed him. It just none of that made sense. So you knew damn well she wasn't fucking good.
Right. But like, think about Roddy as a character and the situations in and what his psyche has gone through and is absorbing this. Our world is not this. So, you know, he already had feelings for her, obviously, you know, and that took over everything. He was blinded by the boobs, you know. So then we get our finale of the film. She points a gun at him. He slips one out the wrist, shoots her, turns around, shoots the satellite, helicopter shoots him, and then, Jim, we get titties. Yeah. Titties. Our first glimpse of boobs in the film.
I was like, it just blows. Like, what made them say, like, we gotta get this in there? We gotta make sure that this bitch gets naked.
But like, what happens is he shoots a satellite, signal gets blocked, and all of a sudden they shoot to like a bar scene and other scenes, and the people who were aliens are now being able to be seen by the naked eye and all that shit. So everybody can see everybody. The newscasters turn into aliens, and then you can see, you know, a girl riding a dude, and she looks down, and he's an alien, and credits.
I'm fucking an alien. We get one little drop of meta.
Every Saturday night is for me. I just look down and see fucking alien.
with those contacts on, right? Staring right back at you. But we get one tiny drop of meta in that bar where it's like directors like George Romero and John Carpenter.
Yeah,
right?
you get friggin'.
I mean, right there, after this whole film about fucking society and the fucked up human nature that we live in, he's got to name drop himself and George Romero. But dude,
George Romero, Pittsburgh, baby.
And the music that comes. All right, we've listened to fucking the most depressing music that we can over the past hour and a half, and then it's like some upbeat '80s tune, like after the hits come on,
like Roadhouse just ended.
Yeah.
Well, even like once until the satellite breaks, you don't see the friggin' aliens like in color.
Right.
You know, so now all of a sudden there's that red and blue, and they're like so weird. And their friggin' eyes I always thought were so cool looking. There it is.
I got this in a horror block last year. I recommend horror block.
You didn't climb any fences and rip a hole in it or anything, did you?
No, not this one. No.
You got to carry around an extra shirt just in case you got to climb a fence, man.
I keep a pair of drawers and a T-shirt in the diaper bag.
Well, you never know when you're going to have to scale a fence.
Scale a fence or change your undies.
I remember when we were kids, we had to climb over some fence with barbed wire for some reason, and we fucking took Kevin Shishadi's jacket and threw it on the fucking barbed wire so that we wouldn't get cut climbing over the fence. It's like losing feathers and shit after that. I was fucking pumping jacket. That poor kid, man. I love Kevin.
Shout out to Kevin Shishadi.
Yeah. Hopefully his dog survives. Carol Julo watching him.
Oh, God.
That fucking time James was on. Sally. But man.
Hysterical. We'll have to check in 7 years and see how his chat your bait career is going to go.
Hey, man.
All right, so They Live, man. Phenomenal film. I think, went through the whole film from beginning to end.
We basically, you read the first, half hour of the movie, word for word. Did you actually, go online and find that, or did you sit there and copy, dictation down fucking everything?
Well, I started...
a fucking 50 secretary. Take a note.
No, I started writing, and I was like, hold on, there's got to be the scene. And I Googled They Live television scene or whatever, and it came up. Because, like I said, that's one of the most prolific moments of the film. It lets you know what the fuck is going on at the very beginning before our characters know.
Yeah.
And like I said, this movie is under the radar in many aspects. For genre fans, it's not. But for mainstream, it is. Go ask your mother. Go ask your sister. Go ask your father. Go ask your cousin,
I think because we might think it is more well known than it actually is. Also, from the wrestling fan aspect, because Rowdy Piper being who he was, him being in a movie was a big deal to people who fucking pay attention to wrestling back in the day,
Right. Until last year, Aunt James, my buddies, never saw The Thing. I popped the Blu-ray on. And these are, stoners who watch movies. The Thing, a movie, and if you don't watch genre movies, you might know about The Thing from Outer Space, because it's a classic fucking old school TCM movie. But do you know about John Carpenter's The Thing? A lot of people under the radar. These genre movies in general, unless you're Nightmare, Friday, even the original Friday 13th. Ask people, have you seen the original Friday 13th? If you're not a genre fan, you'll be surprised how many people have not seen these movies.
No, they probably jump in at part 5 or 6 and say, oh, yeah, I know Jason.
Yeah, well, they don't even, there's people when they realize that The Mask doesn't show up till the third movie are, blown away by it, you know what I'm saying?
Pamela Voorhees.
Yeah, what? But even this movie, I remember as a kid, before Channel 11 became, the WB, whatever the fuck it was, when it was every night they had the 8 o'clock movie. I used to love when I'd see the commercial that They Live was coming on,
They Live, Predator, Rocky 4.
Yeah, they would do like fucking,
Missing in Action Part 3.
Stallone Week, the friggin' Avenging Force, like movies like
and
that.
You used to like wait for 8 o'clock for the movie to come on. Nowadays, everything's fucking right up your asshole.
It's always some dumbass fucking. That was it too. It was like, once or twice a year it might pop up on that thing. You get to watch it.
Right.
Now it's friggin' on demand. I could go watch it as many times as I found friggin' 976 on Stars on demand.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yeah. Part 2 is on Amazon. I was like, maybe I'll watch it. Yeah, and then I was like,
I might watch it.
Maybe I'll get time. I'll do it. I was fucking busy doing other shit this week. Had my nephew sleep over. We watched Tony Jaa's The Protector. I love that movie. Because when somebody
action flick?
Yeah, martial arts. When somebody steals your elephant, you beat the shit out of everyone. That's basically what happens in that movie.
I never really watched many martial arts flicks except for a couple of Bruce Lee's, but Mike gave me a plethora of DVDs that I have no idea what these movies are, but you probably know them.
Yeah, if you like blood and stuff, man, you got to check out like The Lone Wolf and Cub or Shogun's Assassin. Shogun's Assassin, they took...
Yeah, I heard of those. Yeah, I heard of those.
They took 2 Lone Wolf and Cub movies, edited them together, and fucking dubbed over in English and made Shogun's Assassin out of 2 Lone Wolf and Cub movies. But if you liked like the first Kill Bill, Volume 1, where she's cutting people and blood squirting all over the fucking place, you need those movies. Because that's where he got all that shit from. And even in the second Kill Bill, the little girl asks to watch the Shogun's Assassin when she fucking meets her daughter finally. Spoilers. Sorry for anybody who hasn't seen the Kill Bill movies. Fucking. But yeah.
So I think it's about time to rate this bitch.
Let's do that shit. Do it.
Well, I'm going to drop mine at 4.5 zombie heads. This is almost the perfect movie to me. It has nothing but shit to analyze, so it's right up the Joeying alley. I could sit there and nitpick it and talk about the things that this movie brings up, and it really holds strong today. It's one of these films that the social commentary, as Jim said before, is literal, but at the same time is not, right? Because it's not, we all don't know this. We assume it's just like we all know how to eat healthy. Do we really all know how to eat healthy in the vast scheme of America? I don't think so. So such a great juxtaposition.
Jim's like, yo, what the fuck is this
kid talking about, bro?
Right now? This motherfucker's about to break out like a food pyramid on a dry erase board.
If you don't know, here, look at this.
Look at this. This is where the dairy goes, Jim. Pay attention.
As I eat my beef patty at 2 a.m. out of the microwave.
Microwave beef patties. Fucking getting a nutrition lesson.
I know what I need to eat, but I know what I want to eat.
Champagne at night.
Damn, this thing is bone dry, bro.
Oh man, that's awesome.
But seriously, this movie, it speaks volumes, especially like Jim said earlier, the time, 1988, Ronald Reagan era. I mean, the divide will never end. Like I said on my Facebook post today, the divide's never going to end. It's always been there and it'll never end. We can be conscious of the shit going on in this fucked up world. And John Carpenter obviously is conscious of it, because look at today. All we do is consume. All we do is buy. All we do is feed the corporations who are these aliens, right? So I'm not going to go too crazy into it. 4.5 stars. If you want to talk more about it, Facebook message me.
Go ahead, James.
I'll tell you, man, I was actually sitting here fighting on whether I should go. I'm going to go 4.5 too, but there was a part of me saying, like, should I give this like a 5? Just because I do love this movie.
Me too.
I mean, now that I'm older and even get, like, when I was a kid, it was just cool to see Rowdy Piper in a movie, and I thought the aliens looked cool and shit, and the whole idea of, like, putting glasses on and seeing people change, like, it was fucking kind of creepy and cool when I was little. But now as an adult and like all the fucking like the theme behind it and how, you know, it was done at that time and this far along, it still holds relevance. And like I mentioned before, like anybody that like worships the fucking Kardashians are the kind of people that fall into that fucking category of what this movie's talking about. So, you know, I love everything about it. The fight scenes, the fucking all the one-liners that he had. He even has that one scene, that one line earlier in the movie where he's like something like walking. I would just want to walk down the white line. He's like, well, the middle of the fucking road's like the worst place to be. I forget exactly what it is now, but
he says,
The
I follow the
writing
white
is
line.
phenomenal.
White line is in the middle of the road, which is the worst place to follow or something.
yeah, something like that. Like I do. I love this movie top to bottom, man. So I'll give it 4.5.
Who did Carpenter write this? No, this is based off the short story, but who wrote the screenplay? I don't know. But anyway, I mean, I want to read the short story and see how, because, you know, a short story based off of it be totally different, or it could be
basically
almost the same.
the name Nada they got strictly from the short story because Rowdy Piper is never mentioned by name in the entire movie.
No.
Right. And Nada, I saw in the last page when I was like scrolling through the document, I saw it said Nada. So Nada is the character.
Yeah, and Nada in Spanish is nothing.
Right.
Shout out to my Puerto Rican wife.
Oh yeah. And if you read Ernest Hemingway's A Clean, Well Lighted Place, there's at the end he goes into a monologue and he's like, nada this, nada that. Everything is nada, 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 like repeating the word nada, almost like mantric. And TJ is giving a smirk there, like, shut up, you jerk off. But
I'm waiting for Jim's review where he quotes fucking James Joyce or some shit.
The nothing is a representation of everything, which is us, the common man.
You just brought that full circle. That was awesome. Jim's like, what the fuck am I doing on this podcast with these two jerk offs right now?
Can we see the level of that bottle, Jim?
I haven't touched it in a while. I'm not worried. Still pretty high. I'll save that for another night.
Okay.
You were asking about the writing. Ray Nelson, who wrote the short story 8 o'clock in the morning. John Carpenter wrote the screenplay.
Okay, beautiful. No wonder why it was so good. Carpenter's the man, bro. I want to watch The Ward now.
Really? Somebody like me who why would I like John Carpenter? Weird.
I bought that. The Ward is going to be my next car movie.
No, well, you know, try not to crash into shit.
Listen, you can ask my wife. I'm a very safe driver. Very safe.
But you should get those fucking virtual reality glasses to watch a movie on while you're driving. See how that works.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. On one eye, I'll have the movie. The other eye, I'll have RC Pro Man. No problem.
It's at a red light.
Oh, God.
Anyway, my review of this film, I'm going to 4 out of 5 zombie heads.
Going 4 out of 5, you said?
4 out of 5 zombie heads. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love this movie. I mean, I don't have the input that you do or the in-depth whatever notes that you took, but great movie.
Well, Joey has the whole script in front of him right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have it. I write every time I watch a movie for our show. I have my notes. It's like I have probably like 1,000 words per movie, but I just don't fucking read it. I don't give a fuck. But
that's the thing, like, especially in Death by Podcast, you're just going off of it. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the episode, I'm like, oh, let me look at my notes because.
Well, that's what I do. You know, I mean, I remember I have all the names written down. I have beginning, middle, and end. I have every scene. I have everything written down in my notes. I just let it flow. I mean, whatever happens, happens. Of course. But this film was great. Obviously, I love the social commentary of it. I love the political things of it. As much as I hate it, like in today's world, and I hate everybody who does live like that, like the aliens do in this film. In 1988, they were definitely. It was great with the times. It was what was going on. Mainstream was coming out. MTV era. And credit cards,
conspiracy theories.
all this shit. So the mainstream media was definitely taking over the TV, credit cards, money, and Hollywood, and all this stuff. So, but definitely a good film to watch, and I recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it. Definitely go watch They Live, and R.I.P. Roddy Piper.
Yeah. Also, any hip hop fans out there?
Keith
Back
David
in
Black.
the day,
Nocturnal.
back in the day, Ruthless Records made a commercial for their record company parodying this, where a dude finds the glasses on the street, and when he puts them on, everywhere he looks, he sees the Ruthless Record fucking like logo and shit. So any NWA fans, Eazy-E and all that, R.I.P. Eazy-E and Jerry Heller, even though he seemed to kind of be a dick, but fucking, you know, it's still sad when people die. So fucking, you know, yeah. So they actually, you can find it on YouTube if you put out like Ruthless Record, They Live parody commercial or whatever.
I need to drink champagne on podcasts from now on because my composure is well kept compared to last time. So,
Fuck.
all right, gentlemen.
Are we gonna? Well, let's talk about the next episode.
Oh yeah, we got next episode. The second half of our poll films, we have the classic 1968 Roman Polanski film, and
What is
Behind the Mask. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
For some reason in my head, I keep saying Behind the Mask, the story of Vern Troyer. Like it's stuck in my head for some reason.
For some reason, I keep thinking Batman, The Mask of Phantasm. I don't know. Sorry. Okay. So next episode, like I said, Rosemary's Baby, Leslie Vernon, Behind the Mask, and
two very different films, but
I've never seen Leslie Vernon actually, so I'm excited. For
Yeah,
this.
I'm excited for that. So especially you said it's kind of like a Deadpool break the fourth wall movie or some shit. You're saying
they reference. It's the one thing that horror movies don't do is they don't reference other horror movies a lot. This is pretty much like they're living in the same world, and
cool.
they talk about all the other killers and all the other and how they do. It's very smart. It's a very smart film.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about it, especially from the Dark Discussions crew. So I'm looking forward to that.
Joey's preparing all his notes on fucking Play-Doh about how he's gonna compare them to that.
Yes, I'm gonna get my works cited page, make sure nobody says I plagiarized. Oh shit! All right, people, it's time to go to bed. It's 2:30.
Yeah. All right, man. Shout out to everybody. Thank y'all for listening.
We the people. We the people.
Oh my god.
Slice and Dice Dreadcast. This is Joey.
All right, Jack Swagger Soda.
Peace.
See you on the next episode of Death by Moonsault or Slice and Dice.
We'll see you next week, and hopefully we will have two special guests. We will talk about that on our social media sites. Hopefully they get back to us soon. So see you next week.
Later.
Peace.